Monday, the 17th of June 2024. In this episode of Rip the Bandaid Off, I'm going to talk about this government of national unity. Some commentator came onto one of my videos and said, what we have now is better than the alternative of a coalition between the ANC, MK and the EFF. Alright, he may have a point there. But the reality is, he is happy with another Satan. The so-called Doomsday Coalition is a Satan. This fuck-up that we have here is another Satan. What people don't want to understand is that the DA, as a party, first of all, you must not bullshit yourself. There's zero Christianity in that party. Zero. So if you're a Christian, you should be very upset. Just for that simple matter. Their gender confusion, cuck and all of that is unbiblical and satanic. And they make no secret of it. And then you have to remind yourself what that fucking DA did to the people in the Western Cape during the pestilence. But it's behind you. What they did to you was brutal. And yet, you went and you voted for them again. So, I have to come to the conclusion, is you like to be brutalized. That is what it is. There were other options on the table. But you went for the brutalizers. Same with the black people. They can scream and shout about poverty and about how they struggle and they shortages running knee-deep in the streets and all of that. Cuck! But they kept on voting for the same parties that has been delivering that shit to them. So I have to come to the conclusion, they like to be in the shit. Just as the DA supporters like to be brutalized. The ANC, EFF supporters like to live in the shit. Because that is what they vote for. And they get what they vote for. That is the realities. And the people don't want to see it. And you must understand one thing very well. This government of national unity has been planned by XXX for a long time. It was part of their long-term planning. What is happening now, the ANC is so desperate to stay in power that they made a pact with the devil. And they're going to fucking burn with it. But the problem is, we, the ordinary people, are going to burn with them. Whether we like it or not, we're going to be burned. You must understand this. That 400 MPs sitting down in Cape Town, they fought for only one fucking thing. And that was for those salaries that is tied to those seats. Obscene fucking salaries. All of them are basically millionaires, overnight. For what? Your government is supposed to be the best people that the country has to offer. No, not in South Africa. We go for the biggest shit in the shit heap. That is what we select to be the leadership. I can do fuck all about it. I'm a lonely voice out of the bush, and that's it. All I'm doing is I'm telling you these things. But very few people are willing to accept that they have been fooled for a long time. Most people fooled for their whole lives. And that's why you get a stupid fucking comment like, this Satan is better than that Satan. For fuck's sakes, it is still Satan. But you choose Satan, you will suffer for that. And that is where we are today. The country is destroyed. Nothing is fucking working. We know it. The worst part of all is the bliksems that has been selected and elected. There's a difference between select and elect. The bliksems that has been selected and elected, sitting there in Cape Town in those green seats, they don't give a shit about you and me. They only care about those salaries that is tied to those seats. Get that into your mind and understand that. You have to understand why XXX is so vehemently opposed to anything tribal? For the simple reason, the moment that that happens, they lose their collective grip. Because if South Africa goes tribal, that parliament in Cape Town becomes obsolete. And they all fucking know it. Why does the globalists fight so hard for all these unitary fuck-ups? Because they can control the masses through one thing. That's what look what they're doing to us now with the WHO. Not a democratically selected organization, a fucking privately financed operation that is controlling, that want to control the whole world. Now, we have another interesting situation. BRICS on the one hand, and the rest, the West on the other hand. And if I look at the things that is happening, BRICS is slowly but surely gaining the upper hand, and the West can do fuck all to stop it. And that is the reality. Now, my message to the South African supporters of the ANC, the EFF, you must understand one thing. Our country is committed to communism and socialism. That is where they want to fucking go, and they're doing everything to get there. And then you look at BRICS. Russia ditched communism. China ditched communism. Iran is not communist. Saudi, not communist. Egypt, not communist. So where the fuck does South Africa come into the picture? Those people are all, these other ones that I mentioned, are all working to grow their economies. And they look at these dimwits sitting down here in Cape Town and they think to themselves, what the fuck is that? Can they not learn? But what you have to never forget, BRICS is totally opposed to XXX. They don't want XXX near them. Putin destroyed the central bankers in Russia. He threw them out and nationalized the central bank. And before one of you guys now here gets all excited and say, yeah, but that's what the EFF wants. Fuck! There's brains, IQ in Russia sitting on that central bank. Top economic brains. Not fucking red overalled dimwits. Because the EFF wants to nationalize the Reserve Bank just so that they can do the same to the national treasury, what they did to VBS. Same thing. Okay. So get that shit out of your head. But then you look at other things. Putin outlawed the NGOs and he threw them out of Russia. And just for good measure, they issued a warrant of arrest, dead or alive, for George Soros. That is how Putin cleaned up Russia. Xi Jinping did basically the same thing. And I'm going to repeat this. The Chinese and the Russians are running their economies on the same basics that the National Party and the apartheid regime ran South Africa. The core of the economy, SOEs. And those SOEs were providing the on-ramps for private sector. In China, about 61% of the economy is SOEs and the balance is private. I don't have the percentages for Russia, but it's similar to it. Because they know that's the mix that works. Because what that does is it prevents private capitalists getting a grip on the control of the country. Here in South Africa, we have the situation that a small cabal controls the whole economy. And they are desperately trying to get Eskom out of the hands of the government. Why? Because then they have full control over the region and nobody can really stop them. And we know that the capitalists has got zero conscience. They don't give a fuck whether the people are dying. They don't care. And for you guys that are sitting here, and I'm talking now about the white Afrikaans and Boere people, I see that there is some of the leaders, not leaders, but prominent people, both in the Boere and among the Afrikaners, that are very anti-Russia. Guys, you are going to live to regret that. That is all I'm going to say. A prominent youngster that I have got a lot of respect for is now in a brawl, and I saw it in a report, and he also made anti-Russia statements and things like that. What the fuck is wrong? Russia is the only country in the world today that actually protects white people, that actually cares for white people. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Don't you see that? And then there's that fucker Grease the Toy. I call them now the Grease Pump Gang, that are so fucking committed to be anti-Russia. But they're up to their fucking necks in the asses of XXX. I just laugh at them. And the cock that they use for supporting their stupid arguments. All XXX MSM lies, but they build their lives on it. And I look at it and I think to myself, fuck. When common sense was dished out, you were the last in the queue. You got the bucket in which the common sense was housed. Damn. But I'm laughing. But they think they are extremely enlightened and well informed. But that is their choice. Doing what I'm doing, I'm used to being brutalized by commentators and so forth. And as I said it many times, I've got a short answer for most of their arguments, which is fuck off. And that's where it goes. But the reality is we have to look at the facts on the table. South Africa is in deep shit. This GNU, the chances of the thing succeeding is extremely slim. But it is a XXX design plan. Understand that. They have XXX reached their saturation point when it comes to tolerance with the stealing of the ANC. Because they were stealing now so wildly that infrastructure and things like that XXX needs to be successful in their drive to make money, are now losing money. The ANC fucked the railways up, they fucked the harbours up, they fucked the roads up, they fucking everything up. Things that XXX needs to make money. So XXX machined this outcome. And if you go back into my Skidmarks, you will see that when we were in the run-up to the election, lots of people were saying, the most prominent commentators and the guys with the big mileage and with the big support bases and so forth and the big money behind them, all were saying about 47, 48% for the ANC. I said it from the word go. It will be a miracle if the ANC reach 40. And look where it ended. But that's not important. The fact of the matter is, XXX has castrated the ANC. Now, we don't know, but there's a lot of rumors about shenanigans that went on with the election. But Zuma is going to fight that. Good luck to him. I don't think he's going to see much results because I see now he wants to go to the World Court. Fuck. The thing is packed with XXX influence. It's going to go one way and it's not going to go his way. So, what we're sitting with is a fucked up country and a government that has got very, very little chance of ever succeeding and actually governing the country. So I'm back to my position. We have to go tribal. South Africa needs to be balkanized, and it needs to be balkanized very quickly, because if it's not going to be balkanized officially, it's going to balkanize itself violently. That is where it is. You cannot hope to succeed in KZN if you ignore the voice of 45% of the people. That's it. So, on this Monday morning, you have to think carefully about this. We are sitting in a country where it is undeniable that the government will collapse. What you have to be careful of is that you are not caught in the slipstream or in the backdraft when that thing collapses. The reality is, Satan is in charge of South Africa, and that does not paint a rosy picture of the future. We are going to pay severely for our stupid choices that we made. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.